Hey, welcome back. We're doing the chat here. My name's Robert. I'm here with Beau. Hey, Beau.
Hey, Bobby.
This is part two of a four-part interview, and the second part we're going to drag out of Beau is Wynonna was at a couple different publishers and had several different artists. So we're not going to throw you on the block and say who was your favorite publisher, but we'll say what was some of the favorite artists or some of the favorite art or styles that you liked, because everybody has their own feel for how they draw somebody or interprets a story. So who was some of your favorites to work with?
Um, Again, like you've referred to before in the past, Bobby, it's like trying to pick your favorite child or something.
Yeah.
But
Well, I do
no,
have one of those, but that's all right. No, I don't.
um, I got to say, when by the time I did Wynonna Earp, the Yeti Wars, that was probably the first time I got exactly how I always pictured Wynonna Earp in my head. Enrique Villagran, who I'd worked with since Eclipse, I worked with him. Chuck Dixon worked with him. He worked at Marvel, DC, every major and minor publisher. Enrique was the utmost craftsman as far as what needs to be done. He's a professional. He was wonderful with taking a script, whether it was full script or plot, and making it exciting, pacing. His ability to layer your own storytelling with his was
Mm-hmm.
just amazing. I mean, it truly was schooled. And that Wynonna Earp, the Yeti Wars it was action packed, it was high adventure, and at the same time had humor. Now, I don't mean slapstick, ambush, bug, Deadpool kind of humor, but what I think comes from camaraderie and being in an incredible situation and how you handle it. And it has to be
Right.
with a little bit of humor. And that humor has always been, a sense of humor has always been a part of who Wynonna Earp is and her supporting cast. And Enrique was able to capture that with expressions, with looks. The coloring on that book was what television used to call blue sky. And blue sky means you may have an action adventure, a dramedy, comedy, but the screen always looks happy. I mean, there's good weather. It's not everything is shot in the dark.
Right.
And I didn't want that. I wanted Yeti Wars really represented what Wynonna Earp was to me as a child and what it evolved to as an adult. I got to work with Carlos Fiera on the Wynonna Earp series. He was excellent. And then I got to be honest with you. Then we got Laura Ennis in on
Sure.
the what we'll call the TV hybrid version that we started out, and both Ted Adams and I knew Laura would be. We knew we weren't going to be able to have her for long. She, was doing her book, The Dreamer, which she's committed to
Right.
create her own book. And I always tell everyone, if you can do your own stuff, do it first, and that's what comes important. But she got to do basically the first 5 issues, 4 issues or 5, and we knew we were in safe hands because not only is Laura an incredible storyteller, not only can she
Mm-hmm.
put that humor and expression in there, but she has, and I'll use the term whimsical, and I mean that in the best way of,
Yes.
this world is not real, but we're going to make you believe it is. And
Mm-hmm.
she just did a fabulous job. Bang, bang. She is always on time, always the professional, no worries there at all. And plus, I've known her since she basically just got out of art school. She was
Right.
introduced to me at Mid Ohio Con by Jeff Smith, and fell in love with her as an artist, but fell in love with her as a friend. Her and her husband Mike are
Yes.
like family to Beth and I, and just wonderful, wonderful person. And I cannot speak more highly of her. We missed her when she went to do the Dreamer. She'd come back occasionally and do covers and stuff, and she is a staunch Earper and Wynonna Earp backer, and always has been.
Mm-hmm.
So that was great. And one that I've got to mention, Bobby, the artist is Angel Hernandez. He did season 0 that Tim Rozon and I both wrote. This is the trade paperback. Angel Hernandez had done Star Trek for IDW. He also did Green Lantern at DC Comics. Tim and I wanted to do our tribute to the film The Wild Bunch, in that feeling of camaraderie amongst heroes. And season 0 was that. And Angel Hernandez, and not because his name's Angel and because I'm a guy of faith, but that Angel was heaven sent to us to do this book. I have never seen anybody on anything that I've worked on that was so born to do this one storyline. And it's one of those things, when you read this, the first thing you want to do is either hug your best friend, maybe sock him in the jaw afterwards. I mean, it's that kind of sense of camaraderie that I know men feel, and I'm sure women do with their own brands of friendship. You cannot read this and not be thankful for every friend that you've ever had that was there to back you in tough times. And well, Lord knows Wynonna's got enough of those times. So Angel Hernandez is another one. Just was blessed to get to work with him. And then I got to be honest with you, we got Chris Evanhughes. Chris is a Dutchman, and again, most of the artists I've worked with through my career have been from another country, and it seems to work well for me. And Chris is just the ultimate gentleman. He is. I used to kid Flint Henry that, because they kind of look alike. I said, Flint, this is you if you would have been highly successful. And Flint,
yes.
Be successful? No, that's against my better judgment. No. But he is the bizarro world Flint Henry, where Flint's art is so detailed and descriptive. Chris is open, and it invites color, and and Chris, again, super professional, super polite, always on time, and he is an actor's artist. So he could not have come on this book at a more perfect time, because he was able to take the images of the actors on television, as well as characters like Bobo Del Rey and Valdez and stuff that I created, and also make them printed characters that look like they could be on TV. Mm-hmm. And Chris was just amazing and a good guy. There's nothing in the world I wouldn't do for him. The guy has no limits when it comes to talent and stuff. So and that's just kind of tipping the iceberg, but those are the highlights art-wise that were just groundbreaking moments. And anybody that gets to work with any of those people that I've mentioned, of course, Enrique has passed away, I'm sorry to say, but I am blessed to get to work with all those people.
Now, Enrique, he had like an open style, but was more like a brush technique in the inking, correct? Now, he did the inks on that also?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because it was amazing how open the fill was, but yet he was a little bit of a heavier inker as far as the shadowing and stuff like that. A little old school, I want to say, which is nothing wrong with that style. And then we 100%. Both know Laura. She's got a very open style, but she's good with line art and like you said, positioning, storytelling on a page. And then you got Chris, who's wide open. And he really puts it in with the colors and everything. So, yeah, all three of those, I like all the artists. All three of those are awesome. And the cool thing is we have a piece from Chris we're actually giving away during the last week of the Kickstarter, too.
Oh, so, I've seen that piece, Bobby. You showed that to me. And that is mind-blowing. To use a hippy-dippy cliche, it is mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing. Yeah, and we're actually giving away the original pen and ink. Chris sent it all the way overseas to us, and we got it here ready to go. So, all right. Well, we got Beau's favorite artist. Now, like he says, he likes everybody, which I do too. I picked up 5 of the graphic novels and was thumbing through them along with the Kickstarter. It's just amazing of the storytelling and the art in them. They're just beautiful. It's a great series. So,
well, I appreciate that, Bobby, coming from you, because you've run Sketch Magazine and Blue Line and all the art and supply type of stuff for so long. You're an expert vetting us with our artists in that aspect, and I appreciate that.
I don't know about that, but
No.
I've had the honor to work and talk to so many of them out there. Like Laura, I've known her also probably about the same convention that you met her. You know, I've known her that long, and it was great communicating with Chris with this one piece of artwork. You know, about getting it done. It's the first time he ever drew her blonde, and he was so excited. He goes, "I got to draw her blonde." I said, "Yeah." So yeah, it was a great time. So, all right, Beau. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Bobby.
We'll be back with part number 3.